Bonjour et bienvenue pour un nouvel épisode de So Fly. Excuse me, but I begin in French because today we have a Quebec legend, fly fishing legend with us in the studio, Fred Campbell from Hooké. Fred, how's it going?
Hey, ça va bien? Let's keep it French. Yeah, nice to be here. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Oh man, Fred, thanks so much for being here. This is really exciting for us. You know.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, Mitch can't be here tonight because he's got a long commercial shoot today. So, Gab, I will be replacing him. Not replace him, just for the day. I promise.
Oh, I'm telling Mitch.
I think he's gonna hear.
No, it's not a replacement. It's an adjustment for the day.
I think he's gonna hear this. So
He's gonna hear this for
Maybe
sure.
you're gonna do a great job. And
So I apologize in advance. And then, Fred is a Quebec City-nian, just like me. And then been a huge fan for a while. So, and I think we have been a huge fan of Fred and his work with UK for a long time. So great to have you here.
yeah, thanks for being here, Fred.
hey, thanks, man.
And we
That's
got
cool.
Yilma to my left here as well. You know.
Nice to see you.
And Aldo right here.
Oh, thanks, Gab. Fred, thanks for coming to Toronto. Gab,
Yes.
It's a little out of our.
it's a little out of your
our-
way usually.
Yeah,
right?
but there's more
Yeah.
people and more cars than where we are usually. But you know what? You guys, you managed to do a great job, even though you're in a big city. So that's what's interesting, you know.
we drive.
You drive.
We drive a lot.
Aldo sleeps in his car. He's been guiding all summer. So we're doing it.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. So Fred, yeah, maybe we could talk a little bit about kind of the Fred Campbell story, a little bit about Hooké, whatever you want to talk about. I think
Yeah.
everybody.
How did Fred start fly fishing? That's the
I've been.
big question,
I guess
right?
it's in my DNA. You know, when you feel something is right. Both my parents were born and raised on farms, so they don't know anything else than the outdoors. So fishing and hunting was a means of eating for them. You know, grandfather used to get the moose. The kids used to get the trout.
Nice.
So I guess that was in my DNA, and I fished and I kind of got into hunting when I was very young. But like every adolescent, I got into skateboarding, snowboarding, and I got pretty messed up in there. And throughout my life, someday I realized that after working in the media industry, the video production and all that, something was calling me back. And I fell upon a great fishing adventure, which I used to do every year. I filmed it, I put it online, and hey guys, man, let's give a name to this crew. This is awesome. I think people need to see that fishing is not only, it's more than just fishing. So it became Hooké, and today we are here. I think it's a natural, there's no explanation. It just happened. So sometimes stuff like that happens, and that's why it's still going on. I think we don't know why it happened, but I knew that I was onto something good. So
How long?
kept it alive.
How many years ago was that?
That was in 2012. Yeah. And then I ran out to the guys and I said, I'm going to make a logo. I'm going to make a blog.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said, I'm going to make some clothes. And they said, you crazy, man. This is never going to work. But I guess it kind of
It
worked out.
definitely
Yeah.
did. Here we go now.
2012. Well, it was 2000 and I would say 2014, 2015, where your brand was featured in a pretty reputable design magazine. And I was sitting there with a couple of friends at work one day, and I looked at this. I'm like, what is this? This is beautiful logo. It's a beautiful design. Who are these guys? And right when I
Were
saw
you a fly fisherman at this?
and I
at this
wasn't a
point?
fly fisherman. So it's a pretty big story. I won't take too much of your time.
No. I like.
Anytime you want.
Yeah,
But-
This is amazing.
But my other design partner Kevin and I were looking at this. I'm like, oh, this is so. And I was just spin fishing at the time. And I say just, but I was spin fishing, and I saw it. I'm like, these guys are skateboarding meets fly fishing. It's like inclusive. It's cool. Their brand is cool. Their font treatment's cool. Everything makes sense. And then a couple months later, Mitch started. I'm like, we need to do this. We are so inspired by you guys, and that's kind of like how SoFly kind of came to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, for me, it's the same. Like, I'm here today and I'm like, man, this is awesome. Like, we need to keep in mind what fly fishing used to be.
Yeah.
It's an old guy under a bridge casting a line. And everybody used to say, for us, most Atlantic salmon fishing was not was not that accessible. But the more we are, the better it is. Like me, at the same time, I wanted to be like a professional skateboarder, snowboarder.
Yeah.
I worked my works around in film production. I did 10 films in skateboarding and snowboarding. But
Oh, cool.
the calling was in life you know when it's right. Like everybody is wondering what they need to do in life, where you should be. And I hope for everybody someday you feel you're into something that has a reason to be. And like I just hear what you're saying, and it's like that's it.
Yeah.
The biggest client is the guy who doesn't know how to fish. We need to bring him in. The guy who was already fly fishing by that day was probably like 50 or 60 years old. Yeah. And if I see a young guy on the river, I was like, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" And he's like, "Oh."
Because Hooké is cool, man.
Now we are a big community, but we need to have a feeling of belonging to something. And I don't know how it's.
So you were saying earlier that you've seen a difference in Quebec on the river. You see more young people. So like you've like kind of like succeeded at creating a movement more than just like a brand.
Yeah, the brand is nothing. Like the brand is it stands alone. Like. If it's not about Hooké. How can Hooké exist if there's no people around it?
Yeah.
So the goal was to build more of a community. We didn't know how we were going to do it, how it was going to happen, but I knew I was going to eliminate what bothered me, like the ego.
Yeah.
You're better than me. You're better than who? So I didn't find that in fly fishing, and as we grew, we realized that every time we did an event, we started, there's 50 people, 100, 200, 500. Then we're touring across the whole province and getting thousands of people. Then came our TV productions. And then, of course, we pitched a show with good budgets. And we told them, we're not playing on this Sunday afternoon shitty fishing show. Who cares? We want to be like Thursday night. They said the prime time was Thursday night, 7:30. That's when everybody is in front of their TV.
Yeah.
So they said, that's where we want to be. Then you're crazy.
Fuck yeah.
So that's what happened. They put us there and gave us we had a place where we could show what we did, and you could watch it with the whole family. It wasn't like, who cares? Well, I'm not going to say it's not good what's happening right now, but who cares if you see a guy catch 42 smallmouth bass in a boat? Like, we know you can catch them, but tell us more of what brings you there and how you.
The whole story.
It's kind of
there's more to the story than just catching the fish.
Yeah, and you see it in fly fishing, like with Hooké, with us, with a lot of other brand, like in the States as well. But like it's more about, and then you see it in other sports too, like snowboard and skateboard. It's more about the lifestyle now. Like people, cool, you can do a lot of tricks, but what do you do when you're not? And you like fly fishing, we're having a bonfire, we're traveling somewhere. It's more about just catching fish now.
Yeah,
it's about the journey.
It's more about, I think, to your point, Fred, the community.
I had the chance to travel around the world, and what I've seen is that we could actually be here right now, and I could add the same type of cruise. And we would all get together because we were all created from the same era, I think, of the new generation of people who are getting into the sport. But it's more than the sport. Well, even the word saying fly fishing is a sport is kind of weird, but it is.
Yeah.
Whatever type of sport it is, you can do it hardcore. You can do it like super mellow. But to me, it's a sport, and it goes alongside mountain biking, snowboarding, skateboarding, and everybody, that's not what they saw. They saw like, it's my grandfather who showed me. And you just got a great film that just came out with some professional snowboarders and
yes. You
saw that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Like we're not telling people that it's cool. We're just telling people
it's cool.
That's we are human beings. We were made to do that.
Yeah.
That's the first things the humans did was fish and hunt. So we're not the crazy ones. Like the ones who are texting and are looking at their phones and they're driving cars and they're crazy, but we want to bring the people back to what it is. Yeah. Like when you guys fish, when you're fishing, you don't feel you're doing something wrong. You feel you're completely like immersed in something that is meant to be.
It's,
I don't know.
It feels natural.
It does feel natural.
That's yeah.
Yeah, you're connected to.
Yeah.
That's on some sort of history, right?
Yeah.
It cannot get old. I don't think it can. It can't get old.
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
And if you try it,
It's gonna only evolve
I
from
think
there.
it can't get old because it keeps evolving as well.
Yeah.
You know, now like our parents fly fish. Like my dad fly fish a certain way.
Yeah.
Now I talk to my dad about Euro nymphing, and he's like, "What is that?" Like it's always like it's moving forward, so we are moving forward. You know, like
and
everyone.
there's so much history. There are legends that have been there in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine people were Atlantic salmon fishing, like with a suit and tie, and
Wearing tweed.
His girlfriend or his wife used to dress up with their best dress,
Yeah.
suit up beside the river, look at her husband or her boyfriend fish, and they used to take photos. And it was like, where was that? You see, but those stories are part of what we are doing today,
yeah.
and think
Now we're just bums. We sleep by the river and then fish and put them back.
I mean, if we can't sleep by the river, that's
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
do it more out of everyone here. But.
yeah. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, Hooké started in 2012. It's 2017 now. When did you start fly fishing?
started fly fishing when I was just old enough to hold the rod, you know.
And you grew up Quebec City. The
I
rest
grew
of
up in
Gouche.
Quebec City, but I had a cottage where my parents were born. It's called Inverness and Saint Agathe. It's in like Canton de l'Est.
Mhm.
And I remember when I was
township, sorry.
yeah, when I was 3 or 4, I used to watch my grandfather like fly fish, and I thought it was like the highest level in life you could get. Like he was the most amazing person in the world. He was doing something that I couldn't do, and that it was an art. You know, I had this little kiddie rod, so I kind of evolved. And at a certain point, I tried it, didn't really like it. Liked fishing really a lot, but I thought it was only for the real hardcore. You know, and you're 5, 6 years old, you don't get it.
Yeah.
And it kind of circled through my life, and I kept at it. I think when I was 12, I really got into it.
Okay.
Trout fishing. I was in the boats. You know, the typical Quebec trout fishing and all that stuff.
Yep.
But then the salmon came along.
Yeah.
When I produced 12 years ago, I produced a TV show for fishing and hunting. I followed this really wealthy guy around the world. And that's when I got into, and I was amazed by the Atlantic salmon. I said, one day I'm going to be fishing. I didn't really believe it, but I said, one day I'm going to be like that, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I guess I work hard to get there, but there were a lot of little events in my life that made that everything came together.
Yeah.
It's
leading you there.
not like it's part of, like, I don't know. I watched a film recently that kind of portrayed the fact that we really decide where we are meant to be. And I guess my DNA was that. Fishing and hunting, that's where I need to be. That's where I feel good. So
that's it.
That's how it happened.
Nice.
The Atlantic salmon now, it's kind of like the icon kind of fish for Hooké, right? Because you guys like focus on all the fishing, but like I would say Atlantic salmon is what you guys are really known for.
If you ask our TV broadcaster, he's gonna say, guys, you need to slack on the Atlantic salmon. Like, it's okay. I like all the fishing, but I don't know. You guys already tried Atlantic salmon fishing?
I have not. I have not.
Okay,
Even if
well,
I'm from Quebec.
I know.
You need to come and try it.
I know.
Because once you taste it, like, it's hard to go back to the. It's not that it's not fun catching a trout or all that stuff. But the salmon itself is a fish that comes from the other side of the world, comes back into the river where he was born, and you don't even know why he's going to take your fly, when he's going to take it, but you have the feeling of accomplishing something great, and it's a missile, you know, it's a fight of a lifetime, and they're an amazing fish that nobody understands, so, and not even us.
Why does a salmon take a bomber?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know,
I've seen so many
crazy.
things. And then you say, hey, you need to dead drift a bomber. Then you go to Labrador and say, no. Never dead drift it. Swing it through the rapids. Are you serious? Then you do that. You bring that technique back to Gaspé.
And it won't work.
No, then it works.
It works?
Yeah, then you turn everything around because it's like, what fly should I use? The guy's going to say, use a blue charm on the Bonaventure River.
Right.
But that's the fly everybody's using. Then you arrive and you try a completely other fly that the guy said was good on the Hunt River or whatever. Then you try it, and then that fly becomes the good one. And it's not like a trout. It's not eating.
Right.
It's just sitting there.
It's enticed, right? It's piss off. You got to piss him off.
I already fished like 5 hours on the same fish, same cast. And it's the guy from Loop, Chris Verbisky, said, they all crack. Trust me. And he did crack. He cracked and he took the fly 5 hours into it.
So here's my
God.
here's my question about
They always crack. I love that.
here's the question though about Atlantic salmon, like because they're so unpredictable and stuff. How the fuck do you do a TV show on a salmon? On salmon, like that must be a lot of work.
I'm always bewildered. I'm always bewildered by how many salmon you guys catch. Like it's amazing. I'm like,
No, but you'll see, like we had good times
yeah.
and bad times. Like 14 straight days this year, but no fish.
Okay.
So, like sometimes it gets really, really rough. We shoot for 4 days, and we'll work it out so it finishes with the fish. But we also have times when we don't catch them. And Atlantic salmon fishing is like, if we could only go when it's good, that's what we do. But if we booked a shoot and it's the lowest levels of water we've ever seen,
You just got to deal with it.
we got to deal with it. But now we're becoming more and more conscious of, I don't know why, but I have the impression that stuff is changing. We've seen the lowest levels of water we've ever seen. The summers are getting more warm.
Yep.
And it's getting complicated. So in the beginning, we're like, it's only temporary. So I think like we also want to get involved in seeing how, I don't know, I think we're having the fishing is hard, but it's also because of the changing conditions. So it's really weird to see. I don't know if you guys see it around here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
It's getting,
Big time.
it's getting a kind of, I don't know, we could say we could start to worry for real about this situation. And
Do you see Hooké doing anything to help the environment a little bit? Is that
100%? That's our new goal. I mean, we really want to get involved. We're super involved with the Atlantic Salmon Federation. We've helped them out a lot. Us, it's not about making money. Of course, we all want to survive.
Yeah.
But what is building a business that our main resource is not going good? So some people talk to me about that, and I think it needs reflection. Like when you're growing a business that is implicated with the resources, but how are you going to work it out with the resource?
Right.
Yeah.
So now we go and fish in Gaspé and you say, hey, there's too many people on this river. I'm sorry, I didn't think about that. So now you need to work back and say, okay, we're creating a better world, but I don't know, do some things deserve to be unknown? It's
That's a really good question. Because I mean, we go to, we all go, or I mean, we just spent the summer starting to travel a lot, and are you doing that place a disservice by making a video about it? Or should you tell people where you've been?
Yeah.
You're marketing your skills. You're marketing the way you're catching it. So, of course, you see a podcast that 2,000 people are listening to. Well, did you make 2,000 friends or you like...
Or did you tell 2,000 people?
The guy, hey, thanks so much for telling me where the trout are and how to catch them. I had the best day of my life. But then you say, did I?
Uh-oh.
No, so, but it's fun, It's all about that. But
it is. Yeah.
Since it's not like selling a hamburger or like a T-shirt or it's a physical thing that nobody can control. So that's what's funny about all of this. It's just like Hooké is growing like crazy.
Yeah.
More and more people are getting into the sport. But that's not this case for the fish. So how can we make sure as a group, as a people, as a community that we are giving back to make sure that, I don't know what we're doing, but at least we're thinking about it.
Right.
And it's going, I don't know if you see that, like catch and release more I know it works. I've seen it. We caught the same fish 3 or 4 times by tagging them and programming with loop up north. So for that, it's good. But there's more people.
I mean, what we can do is, as storytellers anyway, is impart that kind of like not behavior, but maybe attitude towards catch and release, where, you know, or whether it be, you know, we fish. There's a river around here called the Credit River, and it's some of it's protected. It's a fragile cold water stream with wild trout, and it's only 45 minutes away from here, which is really rad that we can go fish for wild trout 45 minutes from downtown Toronto. Is pretty cool. But this year we saw the lowest water it's ever had because Nestle's pumping water out of it, and we just didn't get any rain. There's no fucking rain, and it was just hot, and it was hot, and it was hard for for the fish to, you know, it's hard for the fishery. So then it's like, yeah, how can we protect that resource or help somehow protect that resource?
Maybe we could just like, I guess people are interested in the media and how we work and what we do. So I guess like if we get all implicated, of course we're showing the nice pictures of our fish and where we caught them.
Yeah.
But I think we'll need to get more environmentally friendly and like you're telling me a story of a river that is way out of where we are. We're back in Gaspé.
Yeah.
Same thing. Then it's the same thing up in
it's the same thing on the Skeena. It's the same thing.
Same thing in there.
West,
so
there's no water.
If we put it all together, it's like, okay, like on our Instagram feeds and on Facebook, we see like great challenges being accomplished, great fish being caught. Some places are intact, but the ones that are not, since we have a community, I think that's the main thing. I think I don't know. So when we have a voice, we need to.
We have a platform.
Yeah. In the beginning, like we like to share like our stuff, but it's always needed to be intelligent stuff. So we made the job of a guide worthwhile. I mean, it's one of the craziest jobs you could ever have. Like I could never be a fly fishing guide. It's crazy. So we put that up front and say, no, it's okay to be a guide. We make the job of a guide the best because we highlight the best guides. But now everybody wants to be a guide. But can
that be sustainable? Can that be sustainable?
Is it an industry that can grow because I get these weird thoughts in my mind sometimes.
I think that's weird. That's called being responsible.
It's like you know, a fishing spot. Of course, if I go out and I catch a nice fish, I'm really stoked. But then somebody says, "Hey, where do you catch it?" Am I a hypocrite if I don't tell him the right spot? And it's all about sharing. So yeah, I tell him where I caught it.
Yeah.
But then the next day I can't go there because I know he's going to be there with all his buddies. So, but it's great. I think people are sharing, but we need to understand
there's a
that
fine balance.
And if I think it's education too. So if you do tell these people, you know, where the fish are, they have the same mentality that you do, and then they'll treat the rivers the same way you do, and then there's that balance.
I think personally, ultimately, like me, I don't know if some things should be kept secret. But I think ultimately it's healthier for the waterway to not have secrets, because people have had secrets and fished places out, you know? I don't know. I think if you have more people more people on the rivers that have the same mentality, that really love that space and enjoy that space and live in that space and love that space, eventually they'll want to protect that space, right?
Yeah,
Why keep It's tough. It's tough. It's an ethical dilemma.
Yeah.
Because like the way I see it, we bring more people to the river, but at the same time, there's more people that gonna be aware of that river. So it's just like you have to find those people that, you know, it's cool to go to the river, but they need some protections, and we need to get involved basically.
But it's good. I think of our goal was to create more anglers,
right?
But at the end of the day, I think they are more educated anglers than if I look at my uncles and my grandfather.
Same, yeah.
They didn't need to care. They just didn't care. But they just fished to eat.
Yeah.
They had the pleasure, but it didn't come into mind to them to go and deceive an eating trout with a drive or nymph or that thing.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's like, hey man, this is what we're gonna eat. You know? So
It's survival.
today we're not eating as much. I'm not going to I don't know if I'm not going to fish to bring back a fish on the table.
No.
I'm going to fish to accomplish a challenge that is in my mind, and I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna release it. I would have changed nothing in the world, but I have the impression I did something great. So that, that's awesome, and you're not harming. Well, you're not harming nature because everybody, and I can. That's a debate that I would love to have. Catch and release works, and it's about being careful to the fish, of course, but I mean, when you see it, you don't believe it. If you catch a fish and I put a tag in his back, when you catch it in pool number A, and you go back a week later and you catch it again, and the number's there, so that's the same fish that you catch. And then you go back 3 weeks later again, you catch it again, and you take a photo, you put it back, and say, we're all getting worried about this catch and release work or not. It works. It works. And yes, you can take a photo, and I know I'll keep him wet, it's okay, but we don't need to get crazy about that. If we create good anglers that can handle fish, you take your photo, you put it back, it's going to bite again. Yeah. And that's the whole mechanics of a lot of industries back in South America. Mm-hmm. Like the fish have names. They live under a log, and they target it on the Monday. One cast. You have one cast for it. You rise, then take it. It's over. They're going to come back with another client 2 weeks later. And at the end of the year, it's going to be caught 3 times maybe.
That's Chile? In Chile?
Yeah, you have that in New Zealand. You have that where there are pockets of water, streams. The trouts have names. So that's how it works. That's a full economy. Like, let's say Peter took a photo with an 8-pound brown trout. He's all stoked about it. 2 years later, Julie took a photo with an 8-pound trout. She's crazy about it. 4 years later, Paul took a photo with an 8-pound trout. He's crazy. It's all the same trout.
That's
so
great.
That's what's interesting is like,
yeah, super.
The same fish can bring, but it needs to be one guy or girl can fuck it all up. If he drags it to the shore and he says they're strong, they're made to be, and then, well, the story I just told is going to be stopped.
It's going to stop at Paul.
First guy. Yeah.
Fucking Paul.
Paul ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, it's kind of like, we're there now today, I think, after traveling everywhere, meeting people, understanding the fishery, looking at it grow, seeing more people get into it. I think the voice we need to have is to make sure people understand that it's a resource that is not, how do we say it? It's not a. You can make it end. I mean, there's.
It's not necessarily a renewable resource.
Renewable, that's what I want to say.
It's a renewable resource if the fish can renew themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
There's only one thing that makes more fish.
It's
more
fish. Yeah. And not only releasing them, but taking care of the river as well, right? Like, I think there's a lot of, like in Ontario, we see a lot of planting more fish in the rivers and all those programs. But really, the key is taking care of the river. And I think that's maybe a little bit lacking. Like in Quebec and Ontario, like stream care, having spawning grounds, make sure they have that. And
yeah, because if you look
river
at
stewardship, right?
Mm-hmm. I was wondering what am I and my team, what are we doing? We're putting everything nice and making more anglers, but we need to make sure they understand. It's like I have a story like my uncle has an Argo. He can go anywhere. So he goes out there and he says, I found this little lake. It's amazing. We caught 20 trout over 5 pounds. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Then he goes back the next year and he said, it's not biting. You never catch anything again. Well, it's like an aquarium. You emptied it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
if you
Oh,
would,
'cause he kept them, right? Like,
yeah, but he didn't know.
yeah.
But if you take an aquarium, put 5 fish in it, catch them all, kill them, well, you don't see it in the water, but there's no more.
yeah.
Catch the 5, show them to your kid, put it back. There's still gonna be 5 fish in there. Maybe they're not gonna bite right away. So the whole planet is like that, as in the sea, the river. So if you, the occasional one's gonna die, but. And yes, we can eat the small one, and I'm not against eating the fish, but that's the main goal. It's a resource that is not going to renew itself, and one person can, on
Fuck
a
it all
great
up.
day, go in a pool and just get his
Yeah.
his day's worth.
No, it's same story like with my dad growing up on the Jacques-Cartier River, which you know very well. Like
Yeah, it's flowing in my backyard.
yeah, right.
Must be
And,
nice.
yeah, my dad and I fished the same, maybe 1 kilometer apart in Sainte Catherine, and then at some point my dad's like, "Well, we're not catching anything anymore," and I'm like, "Well, your freezer is full of Ziploc bag full of 12 inches trout. No wonder we're not catching anything." And then he didn't go for like 5 years. And then we go together and then we catch like beautiful fish. So when you do leave them alone or put them back, they
balance.
Gab, leave them
balance.
alone.
Yeah, fuck Gab, stop eating everything. Jesus
I know. I did my share of killing brook trout as a kid.
No,
Oh,
Jesus,
geez.
Gab.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
God.
Hey, you gotta be honest. I did it. I don't anymore. And,
Oh my God,
That's the
no.
beauty of it. It's learning. We're learning.
Yeah, no, of course.
So how many, Fred? You had a busy summer. We all obviously follow your Instagram. How much filming do you like? I mean, currently, how the way our team works is, all of us are on every shoot together. Do you have a team big enough now where you don't necessarily have to be there every time?
Yeah, like I tell you the story. Now we are 14.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, but the beginning I was myself. I had a background of filming. I did a lot of films. So the first film I filmed myself. And I told my 2 buddies that never filmed, I said, this trip is not us, either the fly fishing rods that are paying for the trip, is this nice little machine, which is called an FS 700. So if you don't take it in your hands and you don't film, well, your trip is going to cost you a lot of money because they have invited us for us to create a film.
Yeah.
So we used to work our ass off like crazy for free because we needed to, we had the trip. But it was amazing enough for us to say, "Oh, we didn't have to pay for the trip.
Yep, that's where
Same
we're right.
film.
We're
Yeah,
right
right
there
there.
right now.
Take the photos, work our ass off." And I had a business that called Focus, so I could sustain that.
Yeah.
But
Do you still have that business?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still have it. Yeah.
That's how we got these hats through Focus, right?
Focus is like the owner of Hooké, but
Right, right,
it's
right.
more of the initial business that was
Got it.
transformed.
It's the
so-
production house that holds
it's
everyone.
the production house
Yeah.
that holds our media. So then, as it grew along, I realized I needed to hire people so we could work that through the year. So we built our reputation like working our ass off for free, but then we had something to show. So by showing that and by having the expertise, we started to get some clients, and then by miracle, more people came to the table and more contracts arrived, and then TV came up. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, how it actually happened, it was Derek Martin who said, "Hey guys, we could do 4 shows. I know somebody at Uni TV, and 4 shows in like traveling through Acadia." So let's see how we do that. And then we started to work a budget. We sent that out and said, "No, a TV series needs to be 8 shows." So I'm like, man, how are we gonna do this? And I had 3 internships. Hugo, Emil, and Stuart that had arrived and they were working with us, but had never done it. So I said, "Guys, I just signed a TV contract for 8 shows." And said, "How are we going to do it?" It's the best time to learn.
Imagine you're an intern and you're like, okay, right, you're gonna shoot TV
It's
show
true.
now.
Dive into the deep end, man.
Yeah.
Best time to learn. And it came out as one of our best series. And everybody gave us a year. We're here again, 5 seasons into it.
5 season, eh?
We're
Amazing.
broadcasted in 165 countries all around the world. And the show is going really good. The business is good. So yeah, now today we have employees. We have
Yeah.
cinematographers, DOPs, photographers. So what's good is we
Amazing.
created some jobs, but at the end of the day, I always come back to say the best guy, the guy who doesn't know how to do it but has the passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're too good, sometimes it can be good, but
Yeah.
for what we are doing, we're waking up when the sun rises and we're going to bed when the sun goes to
Goes to bed.
Yeah.
goes to bed.
Goes back up.
And then after that, sometimes there are ups and downs, the weather. It's a hard job, but
Yeah.
it's not a job if you like it. So it's really good now. We have a super good team. There's 14 people implicated in the whole business.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's the clothing line, there's the magazine, there's the TV production, there's the contracts, there's the full on works. Like everything is going really, really good.
Yeah.
And we hope to add more to the table. But if you lose the passion, you cannot be with us. And we're too. We love what we do. Like we
And it comes through. It
breathe
comes,
it. Like
yeah.
it's like
Yeah. It
we
definitely comes through.
yeah, we're crazy about it. And
Yeah.
then we had an opportunity to show people what we do and to make a living out of it.
Mhm.
But it can be very temporary if we take it for granted.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean,
Yeah, you
it's,
don't lack vision.
No,
You can't, like
Yeah,
that's
you can't
something
see
There's
that's
always
Uh,
something new, right?
it's really something really obvious. I've always thought you can never lack vision,
Mhm.
even if you don't have money. You can't, and somebody like comes along and gives you you can't sacrifice that vision just for something quick.
no.
know?
I
You're
tell you,
never gonna get where you want.
right away, like one phrase that kept me going. And I remember I watched that when I was like, I don't know how old I was. And then one guy I forget what he was doing. And he says, do great things and money will follow. And when you come and think about it,
Yeah. It's true.
if you do great things, it's for sure money will follow. Think of anything you do. Photo, video, sports, whatever. Somebody's going to see you and somebody's going to give you some financial
Mhm.
Yeah.
To sustain it.
compensation for your great things. I mean, for us,
They're going to see the value.
that's where we
Mhm.
made our mark,
Mhm.
cinematography and bringing it to the table. But then we also had the skills for design,
Mhm.
photo, clothing. So everything needs to be on the same level.
Yeah.
And like you guys is a great example. You're doing it, and it's not like I'm not asking you guys to say, yeah. So how much money are you making?
I'll tell you how much it's not.
Yeah.
No,
It's zero.
We know what the answer is.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, we're rolling in gold. It's crazy.
We're just doing it for the love of it. for
You
sure,
look
yeah.
around the world, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like people are working their ass off in something they love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. We're not, we just do it. Like Aldo says, hey, Elma, yeah, I'm already done. Well, actually, it's more like, it's not like
When
that.
has that ever happened?
Yeah. But that's, in my head, it's like, yeah, no.
So that's cool. You went from just yourselves. Now you have 14 employees. So you're obviously doing multiple shoots at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Simultaneous.
To come
shoots
back
and
to
stuff.
it,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we're just full on. We're just filming nonstop.
Nonstop.
We
Okay.
never stop. We're like we're gonna need like I guess I'm an entrepreneur.
You guess?
By
I think you.
I am. I am, but I mean it's something that I have to understand better
Mm-hmm.
because now I'm managing human beings and I'm kind of a point of reference for their future, and I try to give them the best conditions. And now there's so much opportunity coming to us, and like I said, we're filming all across the world all the time, one trip to another. We're expanding. We're going into other stuff, and it's hard to keep together because there's only a certain amount of emotions you can live through, and so back to back, it's cool. But I'm trying to mix up the team,
Right.
make sure we don't lose that. Like it's not normal to have the opportunity to be fishing in New Zealand. It's like that's a trip of a lifetime you do when you retired. But we do that, then we follow through. But the reason we're there is to offer quality job. So every time we travel, we need to make sure we're on point. And I tell the guys, the only reason we're here is not because we're cool or it's because we're good at what we do. And it's not like, of of course, fishing is fishing, but
Yep.
it's for the media and it's a result we need to give. It's like,
Mhm.
so now it's like, I'm always feeling I'm in a dream. Like right now, I feel I'm in a dream too, because like if I would have told somebody I'm going to be in Toronto with these guys doing a podcast in this crazy like studio.
CBC building.
If somebody told you 5 years ago that you were going to fly to Toronto and meet with the SoFly crew,
that's
oh
not
my God.
that's not gonna happen. Go back to sleep. So every day is like like a new it's a new thing. So I guess as long as this stays, hope it stays.
Yeah.
And there's more to it. So it's crazy. We're working year round.
That's so
and
cool.
We need to get it together now, because I always add to it. Like I'm making sure we never miss any jobs. So we have the TV. It's together: the clothes, the TV, the magazine. Right now,
Yeah.
and it's a voice. We want to say, like, film is temporary. Now it goes on Facebook. It slowly dies.
Yeah.
If you have a TV show, it's maybe gonna last a year or two.
Yeah.
But a magazine is a paper version of your art that can stay on the table for
I love magazines.
hundreds of years, and it's not going to decompose. So
Mhm.
I love that aspect, and so we brought that to the table.
I feel like when you have something in a magazine, it
Tangible.
lives forever.
Oh, it
It's
does.
tangible.
It
Yeah,
does.
it's tangible.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind of
totally
like a
agree with
painting
you.
on the wall. You have
Yeah.
it like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think print will ever die.
No,
I don't think so. I think
It'll
it's
take
been
different
hurting
forms.
a bit. It's been hurting a bit.
Yeah.
It's been hurting, but there's new form. You know, when you
Yeah.
see the Hooké magazine, that there's not they don't come out every
quarterly.
week, or it's quarterly stuff, but like beautiful. When you look at like Modern Huntsman, for example, like those
Yeah, the Modern Huntsman's great.
and the Fly Fish Journal, all those magazines.
I don't know
they're-
if you guys are seeing it, but I have the impression that the new generation, there's a really nice enthusiasm around like the old stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's too much of the fucking phone and this like completely fake life that they want a little more. I think so. I'm kind of seeing an interest in certain point where the value of a nice magazine is important, of a good outing outdoors, like eating well, getting energized.
Conversation.
Yeah, because there's only so much people are going to be able to ingest and play that game, because like it's
It-
kind of
We will experience fatigue, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, we're seeing it right now.
it's all, like how much, like you said, how much can you stare at your fucking phone? Like,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Depression's up, anxiety's up because of the phone. They're
At the same time, yeah. But people like now, like because we've been looking at a phone for like 10 years now. People now want experience. So I think it's like slowly changing.
yeah, I can see that for sure.
You know, people are like, I'm sick of looking at my phone. I don't want to look at someone in Montana fishing. I fucking want to go to Montana. And then, and then they go.
And you're
You know,
going.
Yeah, and I'm going. I said, yeah.
No, I agree with you, Fred. I think maybe more so than anything is they want to see like quality or some sort of tangible quality. Like when you gave us, and thank you for doing that, when you guys mailed us your magazines, that was awesome. We all just sat around Yilma's apartment and we just kind of, none of us spoke for a bit. We were just flipping through magazines. We're like showing each other what we liked about it, what we didn't, you know, and like, it was cool. It was a fun little moment for us, you know. We're like, you know, Yilma was going off about the fonts and the treatments or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that-
I didn't steal any.
That's
Stole everything.
it's a liberty of expression we have, and what's cool is I can just do it. If tomorrow I want to do a film, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Whatever it's about,
Yeah.
as long as it's about something that makes sense, I'm just gonna do it. We want to do a magazine, but the magazine was to tell a story that is important to us, and that's what I realized. The new generation. Somebody told me that recently. And said they're intelligent. They're so bombarded by information, like every single minute of their lives, like publicity. They can see a real thing versus a fake thing. And I think if we are intelligent, we're going to be able to at least educate the people in respecting what surrounds them. And I don't know, it's a weird space right now, but it's kind of
it's a new space though.
It's of course we grew through it. We grew through internet and Instagram, but at the end of the day, it's not about that. But it's the medium to achieve. I think today it's sad to say, but it is a medium to achieve some sort of success.
Yeah.
What are we doing right now? Like, we're recording something that we hope people will listen to
Online.
but of course we're
On their
trying to
phones.
say something that makes sense. But
Yeah.
so it's also all this, and sometimes it gets too well, maybe I don't know what
And
we're
we're
talking about anymore.
advertising it,
Yeah. Well, you can't.
social media.
But you can't ignore
You can't,
the world
no.
around you.
No,
You
I
have to-
love
yeah,
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it, but it's.
But you're right, there's
it's
a-
kind of
It's a catch-22 or something.
You get it. You
Yeah.
get it gets to you. You catch a fish. Let's say I go by myself. Okay, I've been so used to it.
Mhm.
I catch a fish. I'm by myself, and all day I didn't speak, and then I look at it and I'm like, oh, am I really not gonna take a photo of this one?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's weird, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm not gonna do it, but.
Yeah.
We're used to sharing. It's kind of it's a big thing. If I look at my feed, like before there were no photos
Yeah.
of people catching fish, and now it's important to show it,
Mhm.
to have gratitude, so people understand that you have become. It's like doing a double cork, and when it started, do you really want to risk your life in front of nobody and show it to nobody? So. It's a reward to show it. So I guess now, well, that's what it is now. You catch a fish and
Yeah.
you show it, and the reward is that people know you caught it. But
Yeah.
sometimes it needs to. It's I don't know how you guys
There's
see
just-
it. Me,
No, I'm
no,
with,
it's
I'm,
so
no, I'm just
it's
sitting here in silence because
it's
it
a
started
weird
to.
place. Like
Yeah, I'm sitting here in silence because I'm starting to remember that. Not remember. It's like I used to fish alone all the time. I don't think I did that once this year.
No.
And not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just interesting how my fishing life has changed. Like what you were saying, you're like, I'm alone and I catch a fish and I just look at it and put it away. And now I'm like,
You wanna share?
Now I'm like, I don't think I fished alone once this year. There was always, and again, it wasn't a problem. I love fishing with you guys. I spent decades fishing by myself, so it's nice to actually have a friend.
It's nice to
But,
go with friends. Yeah.
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 But it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't.
well,
It's-
it's gonna happen. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I come back to snowboarding all the time. And said there was a time in space where we weren't allowed to go to the snowboard hill.
Yeah.
And
I
there came
remember.
a time where there were too many peoples on the hill. So it's the same thing with fishing. Like it's gonna happen. There's gonna be more people, but if we make sure that we take care of creating a. So what are we gonna do to make sure the new anglers are well educated about what they're actually doing?
Yeah.
That's coming back down to what I'm thinking about these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, you mentioned like, we're sharing these things online. People are like, oh, this is what's going on in the world. And maybe they're not visiting, maybe they are. But every time I share, there's always at least one person that looks at it like, I'm tired of being in the office, tired of looking at my phone. I need to be in the wilderness like you. So what I can say for social media and what we're doing is potentially we're inviting them into a space that, to experience, right?
Oh yeah,
Hopefully, anyways.
for sure.
Yeah, and stop being, on that.
And then they'll start to care.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe we're
Hopefully.
idealists. I don't know.
We're all we're in the fly fishing business. We're all idealists, I think.
The main thing,
Let's
the
be
main
honest.
thing is like everything is possible. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
the living proof of like everybody saying it's not gonna work is the shittiest idea I've ever heard. How can you do it? There's nobody fly fishing. It's nothing. And today we're having a discussion about what we're gonna do with the growth.
What's
of
the
this
next step,
sport.
right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
so
it is amazing.
it's interesting for so I don't know
is,
exactly what this discussion is bringing to, but I guess it's that's where my mind is right now after traveling and creating all of this and living it, and needs to live for a bigger reason than just like growing and bringing it. So okay, that part is done. But now I want to make sure we get involved and that the resource is going to stay,
Mhm.
because I've been seeing, I'm getting worried. Maybe I'm crazy, but I mean, even with my girlfriend, I was starting to say, "Oh, we are doing a lot of trash."
Yeah.
There's a conscience that came to me recently because I went on the rivers a lot, and I realized there's more people. People love it. People enjoy it, and there's on the main on most of all the rivers, everything was clean. But you just need a group of 10 that just start to trash, and then we'll lose all our rights. We're allowed to camp outdoors everywhere. We're allowed to do it, but it's not well done. So I guess I'm gonna try to have a mix of things now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's cool, it's fun, and we accomplish great things. We're catching fish and that, but what's the back end behind that?
Yeah.
It's the same. You guys are probably living through it. I mean, the fishery around here is not like completely crazy, but there's a mix, and there's certain places you'll go and you're like, okay,
it can get pretty busy, especially this time of the year.
That's a cool party,
or not.
No, but I mean, in terms of people and variety and different styles, and like you cannot. You expect that someday that fishery is gonna be better than what it is, and what are the steps you're gonna do to do that?
So that's a good lead for my next questions, because Hooké started with fly fishing, and you guys promote catch and release a lot. And then now you do a hunting show.
Yeah,
but hunting you can't release it after, right?
You can't release it. It seems as something weird, maybe, but for us, it's like really in us. It's in our DNA. We've all been hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
We traveled around the world. And we realized everybody is the same. Our trips in Scandinavia and Sweden and Chile, everybody is the same, and there's a big work to do there. And what we want to do is to show that, like, of course, there's a first place is like, if you're a vegan, okay, you hate me because I killed an animal. But if you eat meat, then we can chat and we'll have a good talk. Because you're eating something really, really fucked up that's on the marketplace and the shelf.
Oh yeah.
And us, we decided to better understand what we're gonna eat.
Yep.
So we're gonna show the people how to go get it, then how to respect it. Of course, you can't respect something you're killing, but yes, you can. If you're taking what you can and you're taking a stock that is really big, and it's the same thing. We can't hide ourselves when we're going to fish. Yes, we're putting it back, but the act of fishing is harming an animal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to get too deep into that because we are fishermen and hunters, and that's what we do. And we're going to make sure that it keeps on going. And we want to show the people the right way to do it. And it just came about. We were already doing it. And I've seen so many bad things happen. And there's so many bad things happening up north. The Inuits that just stopped the caribou hunting because of the white people who took an opportunity and completely like trashed an animal that was their sacred animal. So we said, hey, we have a voice, we hunt, we love it. Let's try to make something good out of it. And that's where we are now. We are shooting a series right now. We used to do it all the time. We just didn't put it up front.
Mm-hmm.
But it's for us, it's a continuation of everything. Like the summer, it's all about fishing, and as fall arrives, we stop fishing and we get more involved into the. But I guess we're not gonna get too deep into that. It's a thing we do, and we love it.
Yeah, that's a good explanation for
we
it.
love it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't have a discussion with somebody who is anti-hunter because yes, we are harming an animal, but like, is a wolf gonna eat leaves? No. So we are a wolf. We eat meat. That's how I see it.
At the same time, it's not because you kill an animal that you're not a conservationist, right? Like hunters want resources. Like we don't want to. Like
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I do it anyways. It's weird, but I don't like. I like to eat meat, and I hate to see a piece of cow in a bag or in a cellophane paper and wonder where it's from, how it was harvested.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm in my system when I eat the moose and the deer, it works out fine. So we wouldn't be doing it if there would be nothing to do. But for me, the Quebec hunter is somebody who lacks a little bit of respect for a certain way, but they just didn't care. There's millions of moose. Let's kill them. Pow, 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 pow. We're just trying. It's the same for fish. We're just trying to show something. Well, I can't use the word respect, but something.
There's a better way to do it.
Yeah,
And,
something different,
there's
and of course, we choose to eat meat, and the way we choose to eat it is to go and get it, and we want to be outside the most we can. So that puts everything together, and
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think I completely agree with you. I think there's just a huge disconnect where people don't understand where their food's coming from, and where their food's coming from is for the most part pretty fucked up. Yeah. So if you don't think, if hunting or a single hunter, a conservationist who also hunts, I don't think that's the great evil on earth. Anyway.
Well, if you look at it, that's what we reach about 100,000 to 150,000 people per week. We pushed it out there. Nobody said anything. They said, wow. So the fly fisher is already conscious on what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot be a pro vegan, or you're already harming an animal. So let's get that out of the way and say, just don't do it. Don't tell me I'm doing something wrong. You just put a hook in the mouth of that fish, and he's fucking hurting right now.
And you're putting it back.
But it's okay. I mean, it's okay. We're doing our best, and we're trying to make a living out of what we love. And where there is no controversy, there's no need to do it. But we're not like talking to people who. Our audience is people that love the outdoors, and if you fish, I guess they go together. They don't need to go together, but
I'm definitely more in my own life more interested in hunting.
Same.
It's amazing. It's crazy. The
My
camaraderie, everything. Like you get a nice duck and you fix it and you bring it to the table. It's for your kids or for your wife. It's a great
something.
meal.
Yeah.
And of course, it's like fishing. Like, of course, we catch and release. But when we go to a place where there is a lot of fish, we're not gonna hide it. We're gonna catch a small one, and we understand that the trophy fish needs to go back because it can go back.
Yeah.
Same with us. We barely we always do catch and release, but then on the Ottawa Piscat, 3 walleye a day to have a little fish fry
for 6 of us.
For 6 of us,
Yeah, that was awesome. And then we even have a hard times because sometimes the walleye were too big.
Yeah.
We're like,
it was hard to catch a small one.
We're having a hard time eating because our walleyes are too big. That's a nice problem to have.
Yeah. We're not gonna go hunt a polar bear or
no.
Like the stocks for moose, deer, wild goose and geese and ducks.
No predators.
It's just like on the rise.
Yeah.
So we're kind of we're doing something that makes sense.
It's crazy. There's a whole subculture of surfing the Great Lakes. It's insane.
You have a good wetsuit and all that?
Yeah, I just got like a 4.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you good for surfing?
No. But I'll learn this year.
I tried. I used to travel with my girlfriend a lot, like Nicaragua, Costa Rica. And then the first time she says, it's like 10 foot, 15. It's like, you just go out there in the ocean, you paddle, you cross the wave, and then you give it all you got. I almost died. Like the wave, you get up and then
I know it's intense.
Here it's nice because if you take a tumble, it's like sandy. But if you go to those places, you tumble.
Dude, I was in Costa Rica. The first time I went surfing was in Costa Rica. I there were times where it was pretty close there a couple times.
Like I see
not
guys,
getting back to the surface.
I see guys like surfing in the south and there's a foot of water, and under it,
It's
just
coral?
like it's coral, like rocks and coral. You're like, okay, you take a wipe out, you're done.
No, it's hard, but yeah, there's a mix there too, surf and fly fishing.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
100%.
So that's what I've been doing since last year. Like when the fishing got down in February, I was like, you know what? Let's shoot some surf. It just goes together, right? Like
I'm starting to
Yeah, thank you.
It's hard to be good though.
yeah, I'm starting to realize actually, Fred, we were talking about like just where the Great Lakes like the tributaries are. And a lot of them are around this, like not too far away from the surf breaks, like Lake Erie, Lake Huron, even Lake Ontario. So I'm like, if the fishing's bad or the surfing's bad, I'm just going to bring both things when I go now.
Yeah,
and if like the fishing's bad or if the river's blown out, that probably means the surf's good. And if the surf is bad, that probably means the river's okay. So I'm just going to start bringing my surfboard and my fly fishing rod. I think
it makes so much sense. And then now you're gonna be a hunter as well. So bring your gun, your surf, and your fly rod.
Yeah, I don't know if I should put this on the radio, but I just inherited a 12 gauge from my grandfather.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And
Perfect.
he used to be a partridge and grouse.
So
grouse
I will
hunter.
come serve the Great Lakes, and you guys will come to hunt the
Yes.
Canada
Oh.
geese in Quebec.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
if we
And
could
salmon.
fish and salmon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
You know what
trade some stuff.
You know what I also want to do, and I know, I know there might be some problems with the stripers, but I would love. I've never caught a striped bass
man,
either. I would
there
love
is
to do
no
the striped.
problem about.
No, okay.
There
I
is-
just sometimes I've
No, but I mean there
from,
is a problem in terms of like people analyzing it and saying they're eating the baby salmon. But in terms of sport fishing, it's the best fish around. I
oh
mean,
my god, I just
there
wanna
is
do it
no
so bad.
bad striper fishing day. It's
Yeah.
always a good day.
You know what? I think
So-
like we hear. I wouldn't say bad things, but like different opinions, because like Aldo and I work at Drift, we're at the shop, and we see a lot of Atlantic salmon angler coming from Toronto going there, and then the fishing can get hard, and then they might think that it's because
No,
of
they're
the,
not. I mean,
of
it's-
the striped bass, but like
If
you know, like,
the nature will always run its course.
yeah,
So maybe there are more striped bass.
Now,
they were gone for so
now-
long, right?
And yes, maybe they're eating the baby salmon, but if you let nature go, it's gonna end up. Of course, it might be a long ways out, but
Yeah,
I mean, people need to like cherish it and say, "Cool, we have a new fishery. Let's exploit it." Salmon fishing is not as good as it was. Well, let's go and catch striped bass, and things are gonna balance.
there's
man.
and have a shit ton of fun.
There is no studies show. Yeah, studies show that they're eating the baby salmon, but the runs and the fish and the rivers are still as healthy. And if you want to, like, I mean, it's like everything. You can whine or you can just fish for it. So
I love that.
I decide that I love striper fishing.
Yeah.
And for the rest, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. That's nature. So it's not. It wouldn't be like, oh, the striper are eating the baby salmon. Let's kill all the striper, and then we catch more salmon, and we say, it was so fun when we used to be able to catch
the
stripers. So
yeah.
Yeah,
at the end, that's what's funny about it. It's like we're gonna miss it if it leaves. It left for a long time. It's back. It's strong. It's strong fish.
let's embrace it, right?
And it's I went like at the end of September. All summer, Atlantic salmon fishing was not good, so I just went striper fishing. I went with my
Nice.
kids. I went with my girlfriend.
Nice.
I brought some friends, so it's easy, and it's big fish. It's strong fish. So yeah,
When I first met you guys last February when you came down for the IF4.
yeah.
And you know, we went out for some beers after, and we're talking to Alex, and he was talking about, I guess, you know, fishing the Bonaventure, and then going striper fishing or whatever. And he was telling me about, like, you know, you camp on the beach and you have bonfires on the beach and
Yeah.
everybody's having beers on the beach, and then striper fishing at night and in the morning and a day. I was like, that sounds like the most fun ever.
That's I think that was one of our first films we did. Striper fishing just opened.
Yeah.
And then we went there and like we fished on the Bonaventure shore of Plage Evangeline,
Mm-hmm.
and we released that film. And the next week there were like hundreds of people doing it.
Right.
But there needs to be fisheries where you're allowed to like overfish it. it's like hundreds of thousands of striped bass. People are saying there are too many. So go fish, enjoy it, and like it's nature is gonna do its course. The Atlantic salmon won't disappear.
No.
And we can't do anything about it. And then the best thing we can do is to go fish for them. And
it looks so much, like you said, big fish, strong fish. Like
not that difficult to catch. It's a lot of fun.
It looked like a lot of fun. Anyway.
Man, it's
I would love to if I could do Atlantic salmon and striper fishing in the same trip.
Yeah.
Fuck man.
So
count me in.
I saw online that you guys did the Striper Fest. Was that a Hooké event?
It's an initiative from us. Like
Can we come?
Bar Fest, of course, you should come.
Let's go next year.
Yeah, let's definitely go next year.
We're trying to add events to the mix. So now we have a full scope of events. We're running events all through the year. And with Gaspé Fly, that's what we said. We said, hey, let's do an event in the Gaspé region to highlight the quality of striped bass fishing here. Let's reunite in the middle of the summer while the rivers are I don't know, so salmon fishing is slowing down in the end of July, August. And we get hundreds of people down there. And this year we added something new. We did like a big party, film presentation. So yeah, that's where we reunite. And every time we do an event, we see more and more people. So we got the Bar Fest. We go to the Forum Spay, where we go to the big shows in Quebec. We have a film festival that we started called Palm Film Festival. Yeah, with the FQSA. So what was happening is that, of course, we like to participate in the international film festivals, but we created such a big world for fly fishing around Quebec that we say, let's encourage the other people that are doing films in Quebec. So now we kind of have our feature film plus a bunch of other people that get inspired by what we did. Mm-hmm. So now we have our own film festival. So once again, it's like here, Toronto. It's a clean slate. You start from it, and like in 5 years, can you imagine? Like you guys were the instigators of a big community. Mm-hmm. So it's exactly that. It's from nothing to something.
Yeah, those events, those festivals, they bring a lot of people. You always like wonder, is there a lot of people showing up? But last year when you came in February, I mean, we had Drift had 2 cinema.
It was great,
full of people.
We'd be back.
300 people.
It's a lot of people,
and they weren't from Toronto. Like a lot of people drove to come.
Yeah, we'll be back with a bigger, better film.
This year you're gonna do. You guys
we'll come show you an exclusive film.
Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can choose like Chile, Northern Quebec.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah. Oh. We have a lot of films this year, and
that's amazing.
We love the vibe here. The fly tying competition.
That
was fun.
That's gonna happen again too. Yeah,
so we'll be there for
the
sure.
Fly. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Okay, well. I think it might be getting that time. And Mitch, I'm really sorry that you're not here, but I think we got to do Mitchy's Fishies 5, even though you're not here. So, Fred, we've got this segment. I'm going to loosely call this a segment that Mitch made up. It's just 5 questions. It kind of wraps up the show really quickly. You can answer them however you want, long, short, doesn't matter. It's really just the show, but it's just 5 questions. Just another 5 questions, really. It's kind of dumb, but we love it. Called Mitchy's Fishies 5. And we're just kind of the same questions every time. So I think I'm going to try to do my best. And you guys, Gab and Yilma, are going to help me try and get through this without Mitch.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mitchy's Fishy.
Impromptu
Mitchy's Fishy.
Good luck.
Thanks, Fred. And sorry, Mitch.
Mitchy's Fishies 5 with everyone but Mitchy.
Exactly. So first question. What is your favorite fish and why?
I gotta say Atlantic salmon.
I knew you'd say that.
And like I know, I could say something else, but no, and it's impossible for me to like anything else right now because I fished it so much. Mm-hmm. I invested time. I have the impression that I understand it better. And why do I like it is because I don't understand it. So it's like
that is very romantic.
It's kind of really, really weird. And I lose myself in my thoughts when I start to give advice to people how to fish it.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling myself inside, what are you saying? That fish has its life of its own. It's like nobody understands it. But sometimes it takes the fly and sometimes you try something new. So it's unpredictable. It's strong, and it comes from the other side of the world when you think about it.
Yeah.
They're just coming back in the river, and it's in itself a beauty of a fish that has a migratory, like, it's just traveling and it's coming back, and
you get to you see it while it's on this journey, right? Like
Yeah.
you connect with it. You're like, oh my god, it must be incredible.
It's a mutation, total mutation. It comes in fresh, silver, glows. Its beak becomes like all big and like big kype, and becomes brown and red.
Gnarly and
Then it goes back in the ocean, comes back silver again, and comes back in. Like, so yeah, it has to be Atlantic salmon, way up. And why? Because it's unpredictable.
perfect.
Next questions. I don't know if they're in order. I don't think it matters. But if you were a fly, what fly would you be?
I would have to be like a black woolly bugger. Like, well, it depends. If I wanted to be eaten by a fish, I would be a black woolly bugger, because every single fish on the planet is gonna eat a black woolly bugger. True. So that's it. But if I wanted to be free of any harm, I'd probably be a fly that I tied. But yeah, it's a black woolly bugger all across the boards. And if you are not really into like regulations, make it beaded.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, here we're allowed.
That's
nice.
It's the Wild West out here, baby.
What
The
if-
Wild West.
Yeah.
So
A tungsten bead woolly bugger. That's my jam.
it's a great fly.
Yeah, roll bags and tungsten woolly buggers.
I would love to ask you a Mitchy Fishy fella. Let me think. What's where? Right. One place in the world that you are dying to go and fish. Where would that be?
That I have.
That you
Haven't
been
been
yet?
yet?
That you haven't
That-
been yet.
that you haven't been to, or that you have actually.
Yeah.
Because
it's up to you.
Because you've been to a lot of places.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's something about the Leaf River where I was there like when I was a kid, when I wasn't able to understand how wonderful that place was. Every time I go back, it's like it's mesmerizing. There's a feeling of where it started and an untapped fishery that is completely amazing. So for a place that feels like home, that is my favorite place, the Leaf River. And after that, for the place that I have never been, that I really, really want to go, is anything that is like the crazy jungle world and something that is completely like insane. And
Have you been to like the Amazon?
Bass. No, we're planning to go, and last year we had to like cancel a trip. We're kind of got scared, you know. We have so much gear, and we planned the trip.
Yeah, it depends where you go, right? But like in the jungle, sometimes.
It was. I won't say where because I don't want to do bad. But we figured it out. We planned it, and then it was like we were going into the jungle in this super hardcore situation, and we're gonna go back, but we need more planning. Camera wise and everything.
Did you go? And then we're like,
no.
Oh, okay.
We planned it. We put it in our schedule, and we switched it over.
Okay.
So we added, instead of going there, we added a show to our Chile destination. So we did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, trips like that, you need a lot of organizations, you know, like camera wise and stuff. And
if you're alone with your fly rod, nobody cares. But like we have like 200 grand of gear on us, so you know.
And it's humid.
Yeah, if the country is like, say, the travel wise, it's not safe.
Yeah,
and
also like you got to plan for like humidity, camera shuts down, fogs up. Like, there's a lot of things that can fuck up.
But yeah, jungle, and after that, anything that is salt water. Yeah, man, moon, and maybe fish with extra. Yeah,
there's water on the moon.
so much to see, but it must be cool. I mean, the peacock bass and the high rib paima and
oh my god, it looks insane.
Crazy fish.
Yeah,
peacock bass is on my list.
Dorado and everything.
Oh my god.
So Dorado looks.
There's so many. Go.
Mitchie's Fishies 4 is the 4 out of 5. It's the fourth one. What is your favorite fishing memory? It could be from your childhood. It could be from your trip. Yeah. It anything. Is there one moment in your life that's just like
it made a difference? You know?
There are so many. Like,
And we know it's a hard question.
I am blessed to have so many. I like, man, there's so like I can choose one. Can choose one off the like. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there was one time that was really, really insane. I was with the owner of Loop. His name is Chris Vorbisky, and he is he is from Newfoundland, Labrador. He has some camps up in Labrador. So then he tells me,
we know.
He tells me one morning, and he says, "What?" Because we're doing a film and we're there, and so what would you like to do today? So I say, I would like to catch the biggest salmon in your river. So he has a he has a helicopter and the water is clear and he spots the fish and we fish there a lot. So he says, I have seen one at the waiting room, I think. It's called waiting room, the pool.
The pool, yeah.
And he says, he brings me there and we go with his trapper and then he shows me the fish. He says, it's there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man. Crazy. And he goes upriver and I fish. I told you the story before.
Yeah.
That's the fish that I fished for a couple of hours, cast after cast after cast, which was the biggest fish in the river that he had seen. And then by miracle,
Yeah.
I throw this little bomber. He takes it. We all see it. I have it on the line. There was a pool going on we had all, I don't know, we put $50 in and everybody was gonna, like the biggest fish of the trip, blah, blah, blah. So then I know I have it on the line and he's up river and he's like, don't fucking lose it. So I'm like, what do you think I'm thinking? I don't want to lose it. It's the biggest fish of the river. So
my first shoot with these guys with Gab, we caught it like first shoot ever. We went on and
Just really locally.
and I hooked a steelhead and it was a good steelhead.
I haven't seen one for 2 years, so I'm like, don't fucking lose
and
that
Gab
fish.
yells at me. He's like, don't fucking lose the fish. I'm like, what the fuck do you think I want to do? You don't want to lose this fish?
Keeps jumping out and he's like, grab it. And okay.
Oh man, so good.
Just go for it, grab it with your hand.
Okay, so
well, that's what happened. So I have it on the line, and I'm holding the rod against my chest, and it's going downstream, and it's like I feel the line, and it starts to the salmon jump, and I'm like, man, I did it. Perseverance. I listened to Chris. He said they always crack, and then I have it on the line, and then it goes off the line. And then I'm like, for 2 years, I'm thinking of that fish I almost had and thinking of that fish I almost had and almost had. And then I go back and there is a guide who says, I seen the biggest fish of the year is a booba pool. And the plane is arriving in about like an hour. And he says, Fred, you want to go and try it? I said, man, I'm going for the revenge. And that one, I caught it. And it was the biggest fish for since 2 years on the river.
So
amazing.
Cool.
So
Could've
it's
been the same
like, no, not the same one, but it's like, I was fishing a lot. When you have a chance on a big one,
Yeah.
Having it on the line is the first part.
Mm-hmm.
And when you lose it, it's stuck in your mind for so long. What if I had done that and that?
Yes.
And that, and then you
There's-
keep thinking and
Oh, yeah.
thinking until most of the time the opportunity never comes back.
Yeah.
So I got a 20+ pounder fish on the Hunt River, and I remember
Oh man.
the handshake we had, and we both remembered the one that I lost. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's
now
a
I
nice
had
moment. There.
yeah.
So
yeah. For the
I could totally relate. I think so. We're going back to Attawapiskat because I lost probably one of the biggest pike I've seen boil on my popper,
Oh, it was huge.
and that's how I was feeling the whole time. I'm just like,
did he
I've
just
done better.
go for it or did
No,
he
no,
have
he
it?
no, he had him on for
Had
half
him
a
on,
second,
yeah.
and then he snapped the line.
snapped an 80-pound fluorocarbon. I mean, that's a story I would like to tell.
Yeah. But that's
That was a
it,
big
man.
fish. That was a big
That's
fish.
that's the fish you lose are the one you remember the most. The most.
Same on the Ottawa Piscat too. I was on the boat with Aldo, and then I was chucking a popper, and that pike came twice to the fly, and both time didn't hook it properly. But all I saw was his head sticking out of the water.
Yeah, it looked like an alligator.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like an alligator. It was probably almost like a half a foot wide.
What?
It's in my mind.
Oh, half a
It's-
foot. Okay.
Yeah, half a not a foot, half a foot. About this big
Okay.
for people that can see what I'm doing.
The pike. I have
know?
a story for the pike too. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
we well, it's maybe you can tell me an advice, but
I think it's the only thing we can relate on.
We were
Yes.
fishing for
for
pike.
your life.
Fishing for pike in the reservoir Gouin,
Oh yeah,
and you could fish for it side fish on the shore in the sand.
What?
They were big. Like,
Oh, was that video you posted with the drone shot where you got the
yeah,
guy
that's
on the...
not us, but it's same type of stuff.
Okay, same place?
Yeah, no, it's not simple.
Oh,
that
okay,
that
okay.
was in the Yukon. It's a buddy of ours.
Oh, okay.
But same thing. You
Reservoir
see the-
Gouin.
you-
It's in like Mauricie, right? Is that
It's
or
north,
no?
northern
Mauricie.
Quebec,
Okay.
halfway up.
Yeah.
Before. So then you see the pike. It's like huge pike. So I cast, I strip. He takes the fly, and you think like takes it, and then I try to set the hook,
Trout set.
and then then there's twice, and then I realize why this. How can that happen on such a big mouth and so many?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would you say you like?
Yeah, strip.
Yeah,
Strip
it's just, that's the thing. Like,
But
and
what is what like?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like Mitch
It's just
and I
not made
both.
to happen, or you?
I don't know. Mitch and I both caught pike on a trout set. So I mean,
it happens.
It happens.
You know?
Yeah,
right?
but it's just
Their
So-
mouth is so bony, so
so-
big. Sometimes they bite it. They're not even hooked, but they just bite it and they just
Yeah.
let go. So many factors, right?
that
Like,
the story of the two biggest pike I've ever seen. Took the fly, set the hook, no fish.
because you see that with muskie
I don't
around
know.
here. Like the muskie grabs the fly, but it's not hooked.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
It's just
that
and they
happens.
let
Yeah.
go. They
Yeah.
just let go.
Because when they open up,
That might
it's
have
like-
happened yesterday,
Yeah,
Cam.
yeah. Yesterday.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
he had a
I-
muskie on.
I lost a muskie. I
Ah,
was pissed. Okay, this is the last one, but maybe the most profound question.
can't wait.
Fred, why? And this is Mitchie's Fishies 5. This is the 5th one. Why do you fly fish?
it's not complicated.
Damn it.
I don't even I do it because it's like I don't even ask myself why I do it. I just do it.
It's innate.
It feels right, right? Like you just do it because it feels right.
I don't know. It's like probably why does a heroin addict shoot himself every day? Because fucking he's hooked to it.
Because it feels.
I don't know.
amazing.
I,
I like that analogy.
I love it. I love it, and it clears my mind.
Yeah.
I have a really busy life, and
Yeah.
when I'm fly fishing, I know I'm doing nothing important, but I'm doing something for my brain,
Mental health.
and
thing.
I'm cleaning it up. So, yeah, that's why I love it. And I was wondering how do I explain it, and I maybe came up with something like my girlfriend is talking to me about. Ariane showed me how to do some yoga. I feel so refreshed. I said, yeah,
Mhm.
fly fishing is my yoga.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
100% relate to that.
yeah.
100%.
It's like what it's like, the movements and all that. And I'm not like when I'm casting a fly and I'm changing my fly and I'm casting and I'm casting and I'm trying for real. I'm not thinking about my bills. I'm not thinking about
Mhm.
my job. I'm just thinking about like, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm thinking. Or,
Yeah.
No, you're not.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah.
It's a really nice space in time.
Mhm.
And when you can do it by yourself, that's it. I guess it's hard to explain, but
No. Well, to
put-
the audience, maybe.
it's part. Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, it's like why do some families have 3 brothers in the NHL? Well, because I guess they were made to do that.
Mhm.
So my parents gave me the DNA of fishing and hunting. So for me, it's not something that is weird. Something that is part of me. And
Yeah.
I always did it, but now that I do it, more that I appreciate it. I know it's something that can go away.
Mhm.
If I have too much work, can't work. I can't go out anymore. But I tried to make a living out of fly fishing, and I achieved that. So today, I never work. So I mean, I'm never working. I'm always enjoying.
Yeah.
What is it to? Fucking, we're sharing our. I don't know. I don't even know. It's not work. I don't even know what work is. Work is like, I don't know. For me, it was to create work around what I like to do.
Mhm.
Why I love fly fishing is because it's my work today, and I like
Yeah.
to work. I don't know. It's a big mix of everything, but I just know it's right.
I heard someone say it's okay to make a living out of a hobby, but you need to do it really well. And I think that you represent that exactly. Like you just took something and then you make it look really awesome.
Yeah, and we like if you build your life around your passion, you will never have the feeling that you're working. So me, the best. Some people they wake up and they are not anxious to go to work, but me, I wake up and I'm anxious to go to work,
Yeah.
and
Mhm. I
get
because
that.
I have no relationship between work and passion and fun. They are all together.
They're all one and the same. Yep.
Yeah. So for me, like here, I could even say it is work, but it's not work. I'm having a good time, but
This never feels like work. Like what
it's how
we're
I
doing.
feel.
Yeah.
It's how I feel all the time, and I am allowed to say no, and I'm allowed to choose what we want to do.
Mhm.
And now that we have an audience, we're gonna try to do our best to share some important stuff in the long run. That's what we want to do. So that's where we're gonna be, and that's what I. Yeah, if we come back to why I like it, it's because I think it's important to have something you love, and that's the thing I love. Well, no, it's not the thing I love the most because I have the kids and my wife. But the most important thing to finish all this is a happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. 'Cause,
Right,
like,
Gab? You're married.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm married. I get away with a lot. I say that. But my friends say that.
Your best
But,
friend, right?
No, I didn't marry my best friend. I married
Because I'm your best friend.
Yeah, because you guys are my best friend. No, but like it's a balance, Like you want to do what you love, but you always have to think, there's someone behind us, your wife, you have kids. But it's bring all this together. We've seen a little bit of your kid online this summer. You've brought them with you fishing, and
Me, like I said,
like-
it's one package, and
Yeah.
it's my work, my hobbies, and my life. It's all in one.
it's
thing.
our life, man. We better bring them into it.
Yeah.
It's one thing, and if it crashes, well, nothing's gonna happen. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's great. I love it. And I think it's cool and what you guys are doing, and it's inspiring to see that we're going somewhere.
Mhm.
And it's the same thing. I saw it before, and we saw it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but we saw it with other sports.
Yeah.
Some came up and some made it and some didn't. Like,
Look at, like, for example, look at snowboard right now. Like back when I was a teenager, it was kind of big. Like I think the late 90s, early 2000 were kind of like the golden age. But like it comes from we started. We were bums.
Yeah, yeah.
With like we were not even allowed to
Yeah.
be on the ski hill.
I know. Now the
And now it's
ski,
it's
yeah.
in the Olympics. It's multi-million business.
and now the
uh,
skiing purist snowboard.
Yeah. Yeah. And so fly fishing is the same. We just have to take it there.
just need to protect the resource and grow as one community, and
Yeah.
we're all set. I think.
Definitely.
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Any parting words?
Yeah, Fred, I think, thanks for coming on the show. I mean, it's been awesome having you here. Yeah, is there anything you want to leave people with where people can find your content,
Yeah, I can leave everybody with like our website, which is hooké.ca, and also a great series coming up, great films coming up for the year, magazine. We're not going to stop, but what we want to do is to hear more from you. And of course, our main our main priorities in the future are going to be to better understand what we're doing, and also let's all work together to protect the resource. And if there are no more fish, well, we're going to have an interview about when we were here talking about the great fish we were catching. So let's make sure we have another interview about bigger fish, better fish.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us. And although, what about our?
Oh yes, of
social
course.
and
You can find all of our content at sofly.ca, or you can follow us at the SoFly Crew on Instagram. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or guest suggestions, we're starting to get those. That's awesome. You can
keep them coming.
Yeah. You can email us at thesoflycrew@gmail.com. For me, Aldo, that's it for today. Fred, again, thank you so much. I know you came in. You were coming to Toronto just for one night and making time for us. So that's really special. You know, you're an inspiration to us for sure. And I'm not just saying that, as you're literally our inspiration.
Yeah, literally.
So thanks for the support.
Good, man. You are inspiration for me too. So every time I see more people getting into it, I think we went through everything and nothing. But if somebody likes what we said, I think it's going to bring some thoughts up for some people.
I'm sure it is.
No,
it's always a great conversation. You know?
Awesome.
That's cool, man. I hope we do it again. Thanks.
Us too. Yoma?
This is Yoma saying thanks for listening.
All right. This is Gab. Right on. And then see you next time.
Hey, Gab. Good job on hosting, bud.
Thank you. Thank you.
How'd you feel?
You did a really good job, Aldo.
You know, it was awesome.
And I was nervous. I had some like phrases written in my phone. Make sure I didn't fuck up. And guess what? I did. So, it was nerve-wracking, but it's all good because we got the best guests and I have the best
I have a question. Did Mitch get a better job, or did Gab
Mitch
get
always
a new job?
No, I don't think I did a new job. I think Mitch is very secured in his seat.
Perfect. Well, hi, Mitch.
Hi, Mitch.
See you next time.
See you next time. Thanks again, Fred.
All right. Thanks again. See you later.